As I'm live now. Don't see anything in the stream preview yet. All right, here we go. Looks like it's working now. Cool. Maybe? All right, great, sweet. So back to Lost Light here. Shit. I shouldn't have let this just roll. I was doing my stuff. Make these matches in order. Let's see if it's working now. All right, so 3, 3, 3. Like blinks way too fast now. Like I don't know if it was just in like super easy baby mode for me to get those special matches, or how that was working. Cool. Let's play something else. This is kind of boring. Let's see if I can get farther and smash hit. Play more wave. You know what I'm kind of curious of is more. Here, let me. I don't know if I can buy the in-app purchase in Blue Kid 2 to get farther. We just posted a review of this today. Where's the payment stuff? All right, let's remove ads. Let me put my password in real quick and turn it to landscape mode. That would be helpful. All right, so Buck Down Yon, remove ads. Let's go nuts. Thank you for your support. Play. So Sean really liked this game, so I figured I'd give it another shot because I kind of dismissed it pretty quickly when we were doing the original Wednesday night stream. Jumping along here. Man, like the different stars to complete this level, getting all the enemies would take quite a while. So no stars except for the 3-star one, which that's fine. Or the 3-heart one. Let's see if I can get all the enemies this time around. I don't know if the bees count. I guess they do. Alright, cool. Counter went down. One thing that's nice about this game is that they do tell you like how many bad guys and stuff like that there are, or whatever you want to call them, enemies. Alright, so if you're going for completion on the other objective, you basically can't get it under the amount of time, so that's fine. Alright, getting these stars. I need to go back down and like sweep the other side of this just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Alright, cool. Got 18 of these guys left. Holy shit, and I barely have over half the stars. Alright. Making good progress here. Haven't found any of the blue stars yet. Yeah, I agree. A Castlevania game on iOS would be amazing. I mean, I guess you can play Castlevania in GBA for iOS, which is a... Oh shit, I needed to use that guy to jump up there. Oh well. Not like I have any of the blue stars anyway. Yeah, I saw the headline of the Boy Genius Report article. I haven't read it yet, but I can kind of assume it's people that love focusing on bad stuff over the good stuff. It's like, here's the thing with the App Store, right? So it's super accessible. Anyone that wants to publish anything can. No big deal. It's a lot like... very similar to like Flash game development, right? How do I kill these stupid things? Can I not? I guess maybe I can't. I don't know if fish count. Alright, yeah, so I guess fish do count towards the enemy goals. Anyway, so iOS gaming is a lot like... Oh, I can kill these jellyfish things. Shit. iOS gaming is a lot like Flash games in that anyone can make them. There's like almost no barrier to entry right now, like especially stuff like Unity and all the other different like frameworks that are out there just get easier and easier to use. Oh man, I'm really hurting. So I feel like it's really easy for someone to release a shit game on the App Store and then make all sorts of noise about it, about, oh my god, the App Store is unsustainable, I can't quit my job and just make iOS games for a living, all this crap, when like at the end of the day, good games do well. And the App Store is super competitive, just like every super flooded market. So is that a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, I guess you could look at it as a bad thing, but at the same time, it's a good thing because it forces developers that actually want to be serious about the platform and want to make good stuff to get like really innovative with what they do. So, while it's super easy to point at all the Flappy Bird clones and be like, oh my god, the App Store is a total piece of shit, like everyone that likes posting about how many Flappy Bird clones there are also was totally crazy about threes. So, alright, well I'm not going to try to get all the enemies on this one because that's kind of really hurting me. Honestly, but like the thing is that the key to App Store success isn't luck as much as it's like that's key to success in anything in life, like you can only stack the deck in your favor so much, but doing that is super important. Yeah, I mean, like, luck applies to any business. Like, if I want to open something as stupid as like a car wash, I need to keep my fingers crossed that someone else doesn't open a car wash up down the street, that, my equipment doesn't break, all this other stuff. I mean, there's luck in all things. The tricky part is how you mitigate risk, and you do that on the App Store by releasing good stuff. And not overextending yourself with ridiculously huge budgets, and I don't know, there's like a million mistakes people have made that you can learn from. So to point at Flappy Bird as like this harbinger of the death of the App Store, I feel like is basically just link bait. Shit. These underwater levels are always stupid hard. I really need more hearts. And I feel like another problem with the App Store is because it's so accessible, you also have a lot of people that just don't understand the business of game development that are involved in it, being incredibly outspoken and everything else. So, just like Wizard Beer 3000 is saying, you need to know your business strategy and revenue model. I feel like a lot of developers like don't have any strategy like to speak of at all, whether it's a business strategy, a marketing strategy, a revenue strategy. Like they're just making a game, and they're still kind of following the App Store of 2008 dream of like, well, hey, I released a game on the App Store, where's my millions? When the market's moved past that now. Like now you need to be worried about community building, you need to be worried about user retention, you need to be worried like about your payment model, if it's gonna be free, if it's gonna be paid, if it's gonna be free, like where you can get your users from, you do chart boost stuff, how are you gonna make money through ads, like all this other stuff that you didn't have to think about before, that are all important things that you need to do to adapt in the existing marketplace, how it is now. So, I don't know. I feel like articles that are really negative on the App Store really like just ignoring reality. To have a headline that people want to click and share on Reddit and stuff like that and talk about how much the App Store sucks, and I don't know. Well, there's a discovery issue on anything, you know, like there's a discovery issue for taco places. Like there's so many taco places by me, like I don't even know where to go to get a good one. But, you know, as someone that owns a taqueria, that is the kind of thing that you need to worry about. Is how am I going to get Eli to come here to buy tacos? And like as a taqueria owner, I wouldn't blame the city or anyone else if I can't get people in my door, because at the end of the day, it's up to me to sell my product, not the people that are providing the platform for me to sell my product. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of far out there, but you know, it's like if I had a taco truck and I was doing nothing to advertise my taco truck and I wasn't getting anyone to buy my tacos, it's not like I'd be pissed at the person that makes the truck. You know, I would be mad at myself for not being able to cut it, I guess. But it's really easy to just blame other people and blame other things. And if there's one thing that I would change about the indie developer community, it would be to make people realize their own accountability, I guess. You know, sometimes your projects just fail, and they fail because of things you didn't do or because things you didn't know, or you know, things you learned along the way that you wish you would have done different. And I mean, that's just kind of life. You can't really blame anyone for that kind of thing. But like the thing with making comparisons to Flappy Bird is like, it is the exact same thing that people did with Angry Birds back in the day. Because, you know, there's just something about games. There's something about, you know, like hit music. There's something about indie movies that you've never heard of that just make them catch on. And I think trying to duplicate that insane success is a really good way to drive yourself crazy. Because that's just not like that is not the kind of thing that you can duplicate. And the amount of people that are like trying to divine the reasoning behind, you know, like why Flappy Bird was a viral sensation. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're building a game depending on something like that, that's about, in my eyes, that is very similar to having, you know, buying lottery tickets and expecting to win the lottery because, you know, you deserve it, or whatever other like crazy rationale you have. At the end of the day, Flappy Bird guy made a decent game. It was really popular, and man, this is hard. You know, like, yeah, you got lucky. Of course you got lucky, but that doesn't mean Flappy Bird's a bad game or the App Store sucks or anything else. Like, it's really weird to me that people look at what happened with Flappy Bird and use it to form an argument about how, like, that's wrong. Like, oh, things shouldn't, like, that shouldn't happen, or whatever. Like, I think it's super inspirational as some dude that we've never heard of from Vietnam can make a game that, you know, is so popular that it gets on the front page of USA Today as part of their logo. I mean, I can't think of the last time that happened. So I don't know. Well, I only have one star here, or one heart to make it through this, so I have a feeling the end is close because I only have 5 enemies left. 1, 2, 3. Ah, it's happening! So yeah, I don't know. I mean, and the other thing that like just compounds the toxic mentality of you know, like, oh, the Flappy Bird's ruining the App Store and stuff like that. Whoa, what the hell is this? What am I supposed to do here? There was an article a while back that discussed how anger is the most negative, or I'm sorry, the most powerful emotion on the internet. And it's true, really. I mean, when you think about it, like when you use Facebook, The shit that people put the most effort into is stuff that makes them angry. Like, I really would be surprised if it was a, not a totally universal thing for most people that use Facebook. You look at what people are sharing and stuff like that. It's like, oh, check out this bullshit. You'll never believe what this person said. All that crap. And it's like, I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm some kind of idiot for choosing to live a positive life instead of getting all worked up over what makes me pissed off. Oh, this is hard. Alright, so if I can avoid these as he sucks them in. And apple one more time. Presumably this boss follows the rule. Oh shit. The rule of video game threes. But I don't know. I mean, you guys know what I'm saying? That like it seems really toxic that you would spend time focusing on like, how Flappy Bird sucks and how the App Store is fucked and all this stuff when. I don't know, I guess it's just as valid of a perspective to be like, hey, the App Store is actually pretty awesome. There's a bunch of people that I've met through the App Store that are really cool guys that are, not making like an insane living, but are certainly following their dreams, doing what they like doing, which, I mean, that seems pretty good, right? So, I don't know, but story with the headline, people generally satisfied with life on the App Store doesn't get quite as much traffic as App Store ruined by Flappy Bird shit. It's nice that you can like keep these hearts around for when you need them. I know, but like another big problem with the attitude of people on the App Store, surrounding the App Store, and people analyzing the App Store is that the insane skew of success of the App Store has given people the idea that like if you're only making like some supplemental income, you failed. And that kind of like, I feel like that kind of started with, I don't know, like maybe Temple Run or something like that. Because prior to games like Temple Run and, well, I don't know, I guess Dual Jump was always an example of really, oh shit, I hit retry on this, I don't want to retry. Anyway, like before Temple Run and stuff like that, it was okay to, make a game, have it make some money, and be satisfied that like, hey, I made enough money to buy an iPhone or something like that with it. Now, people are like, well, hey, Amanji is just a husband and wife team that was working out of their apartment. Now they're like multimillionaires. I released a game and made, a few $1,000s. Like, fuck this shit. This is a failure. When in reality, like any reasonable person with a positive outlook on life would be like, hey, this is pretty sick. I was sitting around my bedroom doing nothing, and now I have like an extra $2,000 in my pocket. So, I don't know. It's weird how the internet manages to make me feel like some kind of weirdo for just being a generally even-keeled positive person. I mean, like my first reaction when I look at stuff isn't like, oh, this shit sucks, I can't believe this. It's just like, well, it's not really something I enjoy, but that's okay. How do we get in here? I feel like there's a really tricky way. I mean, I don't mean to trivialize game development as just, you know, like sitting around your bedroom. I mean, certainly, I think that there's a lot of people that put too many eggs in the indie game development basket before proving themselves capable of doing it, I guess is more accurate. I don't know. Like, I feel like the people that are the most disappointed are the people that, like, oh shit, like quit their day job and stuff like that. Like, it seems like the people that are the most toxic towards the App Store are people that, you know, quit some established studio or day job that they had or whatever else, like maybe took some money from someone or got themselves like very overextended with their own finances because maybe they shouldn't have quit their job. Then they release some generally very mediocre game because, and again, a lot of people that fall into this mindset that worked in larger studios didn't realize that you know, it was the effort of the whole team that was making their project successful, not their own particular involvement. Who then, you know, released a game that's not that great, doesn't do too well, and then all of a sudden they're just like pissed at the world. When, I don't know. It's just weird. So I guess in conclusion, like all things in life, moderation is key. Look before you leap. I don't know, all those catchphrases they tell you as a kid that everyone seems to have forgotten as an adult. How's my gaming PC handling Titanfall? I don't know, it seems fine. It's okay. I have a pretty recent computer though that I put together, so shit. This game is surprisingly hard as you get deeper into it. So I don't know. Yeah, I have a GTX 770, I think, with 2 gigs of RAM for my video card. And then the God, I don't know. Whatever the decent processor you can buy now is, like the quad-core Intel one. Whole bunch of numbers. I don't even remember. So yeah. And yeah, I agree. Like making friends in the industry is very important. You know, like all things in life, people help you. If you look at the really successful, and you know, like I'm not even talking like Temple Run successful as much as just, you know, like sustainable indie studios. They're all run by really cool guys that, you know, you want to hang out with, and you know, you like telling people about, and you know, as such, it's easy for them to kind of get wrapped up in different promotional knowledge sharing, you know, you name it, sort of indie things that make indie game development good. And when people approach the App Store as just like a machine to squeeze as much money out of it as possible, you know, like you kind of alienate yourself from those sorts of people, which only puts you further lost at sea to get any support on the App Store. Shit. I don't know. I have lots of opinions on the App Store, but who knows if they're right or not. Probably not. there's a whole lot of people that seem to think they know an awful lot that haven't really accomplished anything, so. I don't know, your PC sounds pretty similar to mine. Like, what resolution are you trying to run it at? I mean, I'm just running at, I don't know, I think I was playing at 1020p maybe? Or 1080p, sorry. It seemed to go fine, I don't know. Oh, something maybe that you missed with Titanfall, you need to update your NVIDIA drivers. They released like a new set of drivers the day of the release of Titanfall. That part of the patch notes say they increased Titanfall performance, so perhaps that is your issue. What do I consider an accomplishment? In what sense? I don't know if a publisher helps anymore. I mean, like, I guess going with a company like Chilingo, I mean, we always make sure to check out the Chilingo games because they usually have, they usually vet their titles decently well, but I mean, it's not like a Chilingo game, in my eyes, is necessarily any better or worse than another game I didn't hear of. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the stuff a publisher does these days is, uses their existing contacts with Apple to maybe get your game featured. And in exchange for you maybe getting your game featured, you'll get 30% less money or whatever the publishing cut is now. So I don't know if that's worth it or not. I don't know. I mean, everyone has their own ideas for what is and isn't successful. I mean, I think if you're happy with the product you've released, you've made your costs back on releasing it, and you have a happy customer pool, that is a success. Whether or not like you're making millions or whatever else, I don't know. It's kind of hard to define. But yeah, anyway, in regards to publishers, like, if you have a shit game, all the publishers in the world aren't going to help you with that. I've heard that Chilingo will actively assign you a producer-ish kind of person to act as kind of oversee your game and give you pointers and stuff like that. But I feel like you could do the same yourself with by just getting more people to play your games, either if that's through a beta test or whatever else. I don't know. I can't really in good faith tell any new developer oh my god, you got to get a publisher, because I don't really know how necessary they are. I feel like they can have their uses, but are you fucked if you don't release without a publisher? Probably not. Can you do all or most of the risk mitigation that a publisher can do for you yourself? Probably. But it's just a matter of, do you have the expertise in your first release to do that? It's hard to say for a lot of people. I don't know, and I think Disco Zoo being published by Nimblebit definitely helped a lot. I don't see, free-to-play games are tricky though, because the thing you need with free-to-play games is a user base, right? And Nimblebit is able to, I wish these levels had checkpoints or something like that. Nimblebit's able to leverage their existing user base, which is important in the free-to-play world. And they had a really good feature on Apple's side, so. But the thing is, you can't count on being featured, even through a publisher. So, I don't know. Because all Apple's editorial stuff is totally independent from the developer relations people. So like, best case scenario, your publisher is able to get the Apple developer relations people to be like, hey, editorial people, you should check out this game. So, seems like an awfully large revenue split for a, hey, check out this game, but that's just my opinion. I don't know what the process for a non-published developer to get featured would be, because you need to make that eventual first point of contact, which is tricky. I mean, something you could do, I guess, is, again, make friends in the indie developer community. At the end of the day, you just need people talking about your game. Shit, this is tricky. See, because, like, for instance, I know that Apple reads TouchArcade. So I guess a good way that, like, if I was an indie developer releasing a game for the first time, I would be super invested in making sure that the TouchArcade forum people knew everything about it. I would have a upcoming thread where, you know, I was updating it constantly. If it wasn't getting any traction, I would figure out why it wasn't getting any traction. You know, if people weren't interested in my game, at the point that I posted the upcoming games thread, that would be a very good time to figure out like why no one cares about it, as opposed to like when it's actually done and released and stuff like that. Make enough noise in the TouchArcade forums and on Twitter and stuff like that, and suddenly, you know, you have like the iOS gaming Reddit people interested, and you know, like we read our forums, all the people that cover iOS stuff read our forums and things like that. So if you're able to make a splash there, you might be able to get yourself some kind of like preview coverage if you got a cool game, at which point your stuff is basically in front of the eyes of Apple without a publisher. You know, release a cool game and have it come out. You know, if it gets reviewed well, everyone in the Apple editorial team is reading all the stuff that the media puts out, so you would be on their radar that way. So I don't know. Thing is, there's like no guaranteed success in the App Store. So even if you did everything that I just said, you know, your thread was blowing up on TouchArcade, you had 1 million indie friends that liked your game enough that they were like mentioning it to their Apple contacts and things like that, you know, you can still have a game that goes nowhere. So I don't know. That's kind of like the basis of my GDC talk, though, is that, or I guess last year's GDC talk was that you need to build your own community for your game and get people talking about it, because that is the best way to have any kind of hope to snowball any kind of success, is by starting small and then growing day by day. But again, you know, it has to be a good game. So I don't know. Well, it's about 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna take off, get some food, stuff like that. So let's see, what did we play today? Started out with First Strike game, which was that this nuclear war sort of game, which I don't know. I wish it was a little faster. It seems like a really, really cool premise though, so I'm gonna spend more time with it and see if I can't figure out like strategy. No, I'm not talking to GDC this year. My talk actually got rejected. So from there we moved on to Pivot. Checked out the this new looper mode here, which is super difficult. Although I guess if you're just talking about it, not paying attention, you can score 6. From there we moved on to Mega Man 2, which was a just as terrible of a port as it always was. Then checked out Mega Man X, which arguably is a worse port than Mega Man 2 was. And then what did we check out? There was another game in there. Oh yeah, this Lost Light game from Disney Mobile. Seemed decent. I don't know, free puzzle game. Certainly worth checking out if puzzle games are your thing. And then last but not least, I went back to Blue Kid from I guess not this last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. So Multiplayer Monday, we can see if we can arrange something like that. Usually that's kind of hard to do anything real time because the stream's delayed like a minute too. So next week's GDC won't be streaming unless I can find someone to stream for me, but everyone that I know that could do that is also going to be GDC. Connectivity is going to be terrible, but I'm going to bring my stuff to stream if I can find internet connection and am available during that time period. We'll do it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys. What Monday would that be? I guess Monday the 24th. So yeah, stay tuned to TouchArcade next week. Tons of GDC stuff, lots of new games. We'll have a first look at a new iOS 7 controller on Tuesday. Those new Backflip Studios games, I think we're also seeing on Tuesday. I don't know. There's going to be a bunch of cool stuff. So be sure to follow TouchArcade. And thanks for following, new followers. And have a good day, everyone else. So.